What's going on, y'all? Today I want to talk about the Atlanta Hawks and the Trae Young situation. A lot of rumors have been coming around about Trae Young potentially being traded. You've seen those rumors about Trae Young not being a fit for the team for a while now. Intensified when you look at this team this year. This year, Trae Young's been hurt, and Jalen Johnson his leap has only continued this year. They made a bunch of trades. They got Kill Alexander Walker hooping on the team, like Dyson Daniels. Porzingis now, like Onyeka Okongwu can shoot threes now, like 2-8 with Trae in the lineup and 14-11 or something like that with him out of the lineup. And then when you look at the stats or whatever, they're like one of the top 10 teams defensively and offensively with him off the court. And then, or offensively, I think they get worse, but defensively, they're like one of the top 10 teams. They have like one of the best lineups. They have one of the best defensive lineups in the league with Dyson Daniels, Reese Shea, Nikhil Alexander Walker, Jalen Johnson, and Onyeka Okongwu. I might be wrong about Reese Shea. It might be someone else in that lineup, but Trae is on the court. Their offense gets better, but the defense gets a lot worse. You know, people are saying, okay, boom, with Trae on that $50 million and you got to pay him against next year, is it worth having that kind of talent on the roster with that kind of deficiency defensively, especially considering his height and considering that the league is not the same as when he got that contract? Those criticisms are valid in my opinion. You know, though you have a player like Jalen Brunson, he is a much more efficient player. He's taller, he's stronger. The Knicks have the personnel to hide him. It's very hard to get the personnel that can hide that kind of player defensively, right? You know, in addition to that, Trae is not averaging 30 and 11, you know. He has averaged 30 in a while. He's averaging 19, 8 assists, 40% from three, 30% from three, you know. So even if you say, okay, boom, he's a good playmaker, you release, get people easier shots, it's like, but you're paying a lot of money for that. All that is valid in my opinion, but for me, after watching tape, you know, watching these games, watching the game without Trae or Porzingis, watching the game with Trae and watching the game with Porzingis, I'm like, okay. And, you know, they never run a Porzingis or Okongwu lineup, which apparently that's supposed to be elite defense. I was trying to see that, but they haven't run it. My conclusion I come up to is that, yes, Trae Young is a bad defender. Trae Young occasionally has lapses that make him like the worst defender in the league. Like when he had that one clip where he fell down against the Knicks and they took a minute to get up and Brunson got a free shot, like a free three. Like, bro, what are you doing? Or the clip where he was right next to Brunson and he didn't put a hand up and Brunson got a free three even though he was next to him. I was like, come on, bro. It's bad enough that you die on screens. Like, you have to be smart with how you like go under and switch. Be smart about it. Just be hyper defensively aware. I feel like for the most part, he's not bad to the point where it's like they're that bad. Like there's a huge difference. How do I say this? Their defense was suffering with or without him on the court. I'm gonna be honest. Like the defense, the problems that the team has are exacerbated, but they're still there when he's not on the court. Basically, the problems that I see with the Hawks is that they're just too small. Whether Trae is on the court or not, they're too small. That's why Porzingis adds such a big factor offensively and defensively. Getting offensive rebounds, obviously being a pick and pop threat, but just being that big, getting offensive rebounds, boxing out bigs like Gobert, for example, like 6'11", 7 foot guy, when you have Okongwu's like 6'8" or whatever, 6'8 and a half, 6'9", like he's not tall enough to be that center consistently. With Trae, again, we all know he gets shooters open. Like the narrative around him is just not really exactly matching the play, where it's like, yes, he's a bad defender and he has some really bad stretches, but like when he's like locked in defensively, like they're not just punishing him every possession. Like they're just not doing that. And they can hide him when you have the personnel to do that. And like they've shown when they've had the personnel to do that, that it works. Especially when you look at the clutch at some of those games. Like, even the clutch of the game where he had like 9 points. Like it wasn't like he was they were punishing him every possession in the clutch. They just weren't doing that. It's really the offensive side for him. It's again the Porzingis thing of them being too small and the offense. He's not efficient enough, you know, compared to previous years. His three ball has never actually been elite, but this year is just horrible. So like when you don't have that three ball, and he's also passing up open shots, which is what I've seen. Like he's not a ball hog. He's never been a ball hog. And this year especially, he had one game earlier this year, he had like 20 points, 7 to 16, 15 assists, 1 turnover. And it's like and the guy who tweeted it called him a ball hog. I'm like, are you dumb? Like, I'm sorry. Like, we don't even have to like watch the game. Like, look at the numbers. The numbers speak for themselves. Like, what are you talking about? And if you actually watch the game, he doesn't take bad shots for the most part. You know, he'll take the occasional, side step back three or pull up three. But again, people have to take those shots. Somebody has to take those shots sometimes. Not all the time. Not several of those a game, but somebody has to take some of those shots. He's not a ball hog. Like, he takes what the defense gives him. And to be honest, he is more passive this season. Like he passes up a lot of open shots when he's not hot. He passes up open shots and like takes good shots. For the most part, shots just not falling. The shot needs to fall for sure. Shot needs to fall to justify him getting paid that money. That's what the star players are for. They're supposed to be making hard shots. They're supposed to be making easy shots. But he doesn't really take a lot of bad shots. The issue is that the shot is not falling, and different defenses are keying in on him, like driving through the lane, you know, because he was such a relentless finisher, you know, with that floater. In that next game, they were clamping him every time he get in that paint, but it's not like some other players where he gets trapped and he doesn't know what to do. Like, no, he's an excellent passer still. Problem is just, number one, he just needs to be more efficient as a shooter and being able to just make the open shot in the clutch, you know what I'm saying? But that, and they just need Porzingis on the court. Like, they need that team to be complete so that they can fully mask his flaws. Now, there's a real argument that, okay, he's getting paid this much money, you can't mask his flaws. That's fair. That's fair. But for me, like, they could definitely make the playoffs. I think they can make the playoffs with him as a focal point of the offense, not necessarily being the first option, whatever option you want to call him, but just being a good offensive player and being that level of playmaker. Yeah, getting people open with his gravity. He does need to get better off ball, but like he doesn't just like dribble a lot. Like that's the thing. Like, he comes off screens a lot. He uses his gravity to get people open, passes the open man. He doesn't do a lot of dribbling. That's the thing. So he's just not a ball hog. The narrative that he's a ball hog is very nasty. Improvement of the team is just like, okay, now here's the team, get him out of here. You know what I mean? Like with Jalen Johnson's improvement as a lead playmaker, they're like, okay, boom, we have this guy now, get him out of here. When in reality, he can enhance the team. But it's understandable where you say, okay, the team has improved in the XYZ area, therefore we don't need him because of these flaws. That's a fair perspective. I'm not mad at someone who has that, but in my opinion, I think he can be that guy. It's just, he just needs to get back to form, in my opinion. If he gets back to form, you're looking at a much improved team, especially with Porzingis playing. Yeah, that's my opinion. And also, Ricochet got to lock in, bro. I don't like these trade rumors, bro. I don't like those. Oh, man, I don't like those. They playing with his PT now, too, bro. That's tough. But yeah, let me know what y'all think about the Trae Young situation. And